Здравствуйте, Joel. Dividing complex numbers, part 2. All right, here's our next problem. How will we do this one? Negative 5 minus 3i over 4i. Have to keep in mind we can't have the imaginary number left in the denominator when we're done. So how do we get it out of there? What are we going to multiply by here? We could multiply by 4i over 4i again, couldn't we? Or we could just multiply by what? We could just multiply by I if you wanted to. If we multiply by 4i over 4i, the factor of 4 will just come out again, won't it? So let's try that. Let's just multiply by I over I and see if that works. Times I over I. Let's see what happens here. All right, we're going to multiply this in. So 4i times I equals 4i squared, which is what? Negative 4. So that got rid of that, didn't it? We multiply this in here, multiply this in here. And this is going to give us negative 5i, isn't it? And negative 3i squared. We have to extend our solidus a little bit here. So let's just extend this out a little bit more. And just like you said here, 4i squared is the same as negative 4, so we'll put our negative 4 here at the bottom. This negative 5i remains at the top here. This I squared is negative 1, and negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3, isn't it? Yes? So how can we rewrite this now? Yep. Remember, when we put our final solution in, we have to put it in the standard form of a complex number, which is the real part first, the imaginary part second. So it comes out, what is it? Lucy? Right, comes out negative 3/4. I know there's the negatives here. How about this? Make it feel better, we'll put the negative out there. Are you with me? You see it? Sorry. And then what here? Yeah, plus 5/4. And actually it's supposed to look like that. Is that alright? So there's our solution there. So far so good? I've seen happier faces. Alright, let's try another one, shall we? What about this one? I think this one's a little bit more straightforward. Let's look at this one, please. How about this example here? Joel, how about we use pink? 3 plus I over 3 minus I. Most important step here is to do what? Most important step is to do what, Mr. Schneider? Of the Alexis, which is what? Exactly. So find the complex conjugate of the denominator. So the denominator is 3 minus I, so the complex conjugate is 3 plus I. So you're exactly right. So, and multiply the complex conjugate of the denominator times the numerator and the denominator. And what is this going to be? Tell me why this is, I think this is going to be 10. Why is this going to be 10? Isn't this going to be, how many of you see this as difference of squares? So it's going to be 3 squared, isn't it? Minus I squared. Isn't that right? And I squared is negative 1, isn't it? And negative 1 minus 1 is 1, isn't it? Yes? right? This I squared is negative 1. So here's this negative 1 here. So this whole thing goes to 10. Everybody okay with that? Yes or no? So this is 10. If you're not sure of that, then actually on the side, do this math. 3 minus I times 3 plus I. Stop the video and do this math and see if you don't come up with this solution, okay? And then what about this? We get 9, right? Plus what? Yeah? 2I. 6I, right? Plus I squared. Isn't that right? Yes? Yes?
Should not be plus I squared on the edge.
Oh, it is I squared on the end. Thank you very much. And I squared is what?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Good job. So this is negative 1. That makes this what?
8.
Makes this 8. Makes this 8. So the answer comes out to be what? Huh? 4/5 plus 3/5 I. Everybody okay with that answer? Again, if you need to, stop the video for a second and go back and do this math here. Do the 3 plus I times 3 plus I. Do this FOIL and see what you get. Yeah? But I think when you do the FOIL, you'll get this. Okay? Let's do this really difficult one. How are we doing for time? Try this really difficult one. Yes? Let's see if we have time to do this really difficult problem. It looks like this. Square root of 10 over square root of 10 minus I. It's pretty challenging. Most important thing to do is what? Key step here. Mr. Tarantino? Quint? The complex conjugate of the denominator is what, son? Square root of 10 plus I multiplied by the numerator and the denominator, right? Again, stop the video if you need to and do square root of 10 minus I times square root of 10 plus I. But I hope that what you're going to get, so you can stop the video now and do this math, but what I think that you're going to get is this. I think you're going to get square root of 100, aren't you? Right? Minus I squared. Right? Because you get square root of 10 squared, and 10 squared times 10 squared is square root of 100, isn't it? Because the square root of 10 times the square root of 10 is the square root of 100, right? And at the top, you get square root of 10 times square root of 10 is the square root of 100. And square root of 100 is what? 10. Everybody okay with that? Square root of 100. Is that all right? And the square root of 10 times I is square root of 10 I. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the outside the way they want me to, if you don't mind. I'm start to break all this stuff down a little bit here. Start to simplify this. Square root of 100 is 10, isn't it? I'm going to do this up here. This is up here is 10 plus square root of 10 I, Brandon. That's the top. Is that all right? And then here at the bottom is 10 again, Brandon. And then here, Brandon, this is negative 1, isn't it? Negative 1. Right, this is negative 1, isn't it, here? If I simplify that. So negative 1 is plus 1, isn't it? Is that right? Makes that 11, right? So what does our answer turn out to be here? I'm hoping when you're going over this video that you're stopping this thing, because I would be. I have to admit, Haley, I'd be stopping this video a bunch of times. So what's our answer turn out to be here, buddy? Celia? Square root what? Right? And there's our answer. Is this helpful? Yeah. It sure is. Thanks, buddy. Good job. Good job. Way to catch it. Thank you. All right. Sorry, we'll go back to it in just a second.